This is the Honest Sauce intro song. I won't take too long because it's spicy, yeah. Oh, so spicy, yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Honest Sauce and Spicy Stuff Reviews, and today is a hot sauce day, and I'm pretty happy about this. I'm excited to try it, and it's the Cafe Mole by Hight Desert Sauce Company. Why doesn't it focus right? By Hight Desert Sauce Company and Brian Ambs. Let me know. It's a limited edition sauce, and I'm pretty stoked about trying it because I've done some other Hight Desert Sauce stuff, and I've done the other Brian Ambs collaboration, the Ghost of Saffron, the regular and the hotter version. I'll put a tag to one of them up here at some point, probably the hotter one, if you want to go watch it, or you can bookmark it for later. But yeah, I'm excited about this. But before we get into it, I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys to please make sure you're giving me a thumbs up for the videos that you like, as well as subscribing and hitting the notification bell, because I guess that's kind of important. As well as check out the Facebook page if you have time to do that, if you're on Facebook. I'm trying to figure out like the best way to do this. I'm wondering if Instagram might be a better deal for letting people know videos out. I don't know. You guys let me know like what you think I should be doing to help get my stuff out there to people so they see it. Also, if you have any comments, questions, or recommendations, please put those down below, because I will check out any recommendations you make. And I do try to at least acknowledge or respond to all of the comments, unless they're just annoying kind of thing, you know? Because I'm too old for that shit. Oh, I know I said I was going to be doing a challenge this week. And I have done the challenge, and I have recorded. I haven't edited it. I wanted to do the second part of the talk, which if you are new to the channel, I'll get to that in a minute. I want to do the second part of the talk this week. So I'm going to do the Neuromancer challenge post next week. And I will say I had a pretty miserable day after it. So keep an eye out for that. That'll be coming out on the next video. All right. And thanks to I want to say thanks to everybody who subscribed. I did give the sauce away. He should have gotten it in the mail already. So, sir, if you're watching this, please give me a thumbs up and let me know if you tried the sauce, the Alvins. All right. So let me know about that. So what I do, if you're new to the channel, what I do is like after the introductory section of the video, I do a personal talk where I talk about my personal experiences in life, some of my hard things I've had to work through and deal with, and how I've moved through different points and aspects of life and stuff, and what I think about certain things. So, and it's not politically charged. I'm not looking to cause a big debate about stuff. As a matter of fact, I really don't care about people wanting to debate about things or anything. I'm not a very competitive person in that way. So yeah, just putting that out there. So if you're interested in the talk, that's what we're going to get into. But if you're not interested and you just want to see the hot sauce review, I will put a timestamp down below here right now, where it'll give you the timestamp to go to for the hot sauce video. Plus, during the talks I have on a different outfit, so that's how you can tell the hot sauce video had started. All right, because I'll have this on. All right, so let's go ahead and do the talk. All right, let's do this again, I guess. I've recorded this once. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to try to be a little bit better and quicker about this, because I know sometimes I get caught up in these things. I'm going to be talking about spirituality on this, and the spiritual community, or that aspect of organized spirituality, we'll call it. You know what I mean? Just go to the Gaia TV network and you'll understand what I mean. So, as we all know, religion messed me up a little bit. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put a little link up here that'll pop out that'll take you to the video where I talk about my experience with organized religion. The result of a lot of things in my life left me in my early adulthood feeling very hopeless and lost, and a sense of like emptiness, like there was no connection with anything. And my mind was starting to shift, you know. I was starting to want to change. I was starting to want things in my life to be different. So I decided that I could either look to different areas for guidance. I could go back and try to find a church and do the organized religion thing, and that might give me some solace or some guidance, and it might have. Or I could look towards other areas of spirituality, such as Eastern philosophies, and maybe even some of the more New Agey kind of things, even though that's not really a term that's used anymore. I could look into that. Esoterics, things like that. Paganism, shamanism. There's a lot out there. And so I made that choice to do it, and I think that's what starts off is making a choice to go in a direction. Find a path. I think a lot of us want to just have a path that'll give us some sort of guidance and tools in order to navigate life in a better way that doesn't involve not that you won't struggle at all, but it will not involve the pain associated with life struggles or different situations in life, loss, grief, death, like all these things that tend to compile on top of us and stuff. It'll give you tools to navigate through that. And this all started because I was starting to, like I said, like shift in my own thoughts. And this all involved kind of like quote unquote waking up to like things around me that I never really paid attention to before because I was so involved in media, TV, building my own persona up and identity and like all these things. I wasn't paying attention to it. But you start seeing like just like how horrible things are in the world. You know, you really start to see it. You start to like question the whys surrounding it. I mean, there's a whole chain of events that goes on when you quote unquote wake up. And I'm not talking about social stuff only. I'm talking about waking up to your own bullshit as well. And yeah, it's how to get out of this space that always seems to be a struggle into an easier way of existence. And the only way to do that is to change yourself, to go inside and learn how to change, or to want to make a change, really. If you just want to change, that's a good start. And I wanted to change. I wanted to be not, I didn't want things to keep being the way they were. So I decided to look for something outside of Christianity and organized religion. And there's a lot out there. There's a ton. You don't realize how many little subgroups of other subgroups of groups of bigger groups of bigger groups there are out there. I've looked at practical magic. I've looked at shamanism. I've looked at other esoterics like channels, mediums, psychics. I've looked at energy work, energy healing. I've looked at crystals and all that kind of stuff. Witchcraft. What else is there? I mean, it just, the list goes on and on. There's always something new coming up too, which is kind of weird. There's always like a new way of doing things or a new modality. But what I really find that helps me the most, even though I got some things out of some of those things, what helps me the most are like Eastern philosophies like Taoism and Buddhism. And specifically Taoism, I'm more attracted to Taoism for some reason. But Buddhism and Taoism are pretty close. I mean, there's some differences, and I find that these things aren't talking about like praying to people or anything. It's just talking about how we're all part of something bigger than ourselves. You know, we're all, as Carl Sagan said, we're all space dust looking at space dust. You know, we're all made out of the stuff that was here, and we're all part of it. As far as like a body, it's made out of things that have been around forever. So yeah, that's where I kind of am at now. Like I'm very much not looking to see auras or different colors or spirits or entities or to talk to, you know, higher beings from another plane of existence that are going to give me answers. So, and there was a while there, and I'm not going to lie, there was a while there I was trying hard. I wanted to see these auras people talked about. I wanted to see entities. I wanted like an open door of communication to the universe, you know, but I don't necessarily think that's how it works. At least not for most of us. Yeah, I feel like for most of us, it's just a struggle all the time. And seeing colors around people isn't going to make the struggle less of a struggle. Might make it worse, actually. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And I'm sure there's other people that might have something to say about this. Or might have some ideas about like a progression of things. But I think you have to really start to just kind of ask yourself what's going to be right for you. And picture like what you want to let go of is a good way to do it. But we'll get more into that. You might be wondering, like, so if spirituality is like this really convoluted, crazy thing, what makes that really, and there's all these different things that are, you know, claiming to be right, then, well, I wouldn't say they're claiming to be right, but they're saying that, you know, this is a great way to go about things. Why is that any different than Christianity or any other organized religion? You know, it seems like everybody's saying they have the answers, right? I think that they're all the same thing. I think that the ideology behind a lot of organized religion align really well with Eastern philosophies. This is just kind of like an idea I have. I would venture to say that a lot of modern religions, and when I say modern religions, I mean like when you look at like Eastern philosophies, they were around a lot longer than Christianity was. They've been around a lot longer, I feel like, yeah. And when I hear stories from the Bible, or I hear like sermons and stuff like that, it's like stories I recognize from like the Tao Te Ching or the Buddhist texts and stuff like that. These are very similar things. I see these themes woven through everything, you know. Another thing that I think is kind of similar with spirituality and organized religion is that people are very judgmental, and they feel they have to be right about things all the time, or that what they're doing is the right way, and that it's the most amazing thing in the world, and everybody should be trying this. And then they act like they have like an authority on everybody else's struggle or pain or anything like that. And while ideas can be used by different people to navigate life, not all ideas work the same way for different people. So when I bump into somebody and I say something, whether they are a spiritual person or a religious person, if I say something and they're like, well, that's nice, but you know what the truth is, I'll listen to them, but in my mind, they've already negated every single thing that they want to tell me, because now they're trying to come off like an authority instead of maybe telling me an antidote to get me to look inside myself. They'll be like, this is the facts, this is what's right, this is what you should be doing, A, B, C, D, it works the same, blah, 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 right? And that's not the truth. And I used to be one of those people. I used to think when I was in a really good space and I had dealt with a lot of my own crap and stuff, and I was feeling super good about life and things were just kind of happening easier, I thought like, wow, man, lucky me, too bad for everybody else if they would only do what I'm doing. Stupid, right? And that's not the truth. It's not the truth. There's nobody should be put on a pedestal above anybody else. Nobody should be treated like a king or a queen. Nobody needs to be worshipped in any way, shape, or form. Period. We're all the same. It doesn't matter your IQ. It doesn't matter your socioeconomic positioning. It doesn't matter on your educational background. It doesn't matter if you've ran a marathon. It doesn't matter. We're all the same. And that might be hard to ingest or something, but it's actually the one truth I feel like I understand now more than anything. There's some other things about spirituality that are kind of like religion, like the fact that, you know, people are making money off of having people want to be better in life. or want to have a better life or are struggling with certain things in life and being exploited for money. My cat, I swear, is driving me nuts. So yeah, money is a big thing, you know, and I've heard certain people that have been making money off of it, just like everybody else that makes money, they will justify why they're doing it. And I've heard people that are very well known for writing like Buddhist texts. So yeah, I've heard people, some Buddhist writers and stuff say things like, well, you know, you have to make a living. And that's true, you do. But why do you have to make a living fucking peddling spirituality? I get it, you wrote a book and you're selling it, that's fine. Why are you asking for podcast subscriptions? Why are you asking for Patreon subscriptions? Why are you asking people to just donate to your super chat and shit? Why? There's no need. You should be able to help people by just living your life and being an example instead of trying to say, I have the answers, read this book. Or I have the answers, take this weekend seminar that costs $500 or more. You know? I don't understand it. I mean, I understand it that you want money and you want to have a good life. I think there's other ways to do that. I don't think exploiting people is a good idea. I think it's bad. I think it does something not only to them, but I think it does something to the person doing it too. And I think what a lot of spiritual leaders should be asking themselves while they're sitting in their nice home or flying to a nice location to do a week-long seminar in wherever, just ask yourself, like, you know, do I really need all this? Is this what my life is supposed to be? Am I making the world a better place? Has the world changed at all since you were doing what you're doing? And I'm not saying that every spiritual teacher is bad, that every spiritual community is based on these same ideals, but I can say there's a lot of them out there. And you just have to trial and error, learn about it, you know? So is there really a difference in the spiritual community? The only difference is, that I can tell, is the organization behind it. There's no hierarchical structure. Maybe in like Buddhist temples and stuff there is. There's people that people look to for teachings, but those people aren't charging them. You can go join a monastery for free, I think. You know? You can take classes and pay for classes at certain monasteries and stuff, but if you go for just like to go and sit and be there during like what they would consider to be a service or something, they're not going to charge you for that. I don't even know if they'll ask for donations on that. I mean, they're always wanting donations because a lot of those places operate off of them strictly. But I don't see them flying in private jets anywhere or living in $1 million mansions unless there's like 20 of them living in one, you know, as part of like the property that the temple's on. But so not really a whole lot of difference except for some of the modalities that are there. Looking back on like from when I started spiritual journeying to now, some of the things that I got wrong about all of it. And one thing I got wrong was thinking that there was somebody out there who would have the answers for me and they would give them to me and life would be great. There are teachers out there that are good, but they're not going to give you the answer. They're going to make you look inside yourself for it. Because, to be honest, we all have the answers to life and the struggles of life and how to navigate the experience of life inside of us all. Except when my cat meows, I want to go insane. Alright, give him some treats. Hopefully that'll help. Yeah, there is no one person out there that's going to sit there and give you a list of answers. I used to think that, I'm going to find a teacher or a mentor and I'm going to be given the instruction manual on how to not suffer in life. Didn't happen. A lot of times you get told these very vague kind of stories or anecdotes and you have to like think about it. And a lot of times spiritual teachings don't make sense to you until later when you have an experience and you are able to connect the dots. And along the lines of thinking someone else has the answers but learning that the answers are inside you, involves a few things that I find were difficult and I see other people struggle with, and I still struggle with some of that. And some of some of the things are things like you have to learn to give up the idea that you have power and control over experience. You can control your actions, but you don't have control over the wind, the air, other people, the planet, the universe, the sun. You don't have control over pretty much almost everything in life except yourself. Is the only thing that you really have absolute control over is yourself if you work on it. And that involves doing all that stuff I talk about chipping away your identity, forgetting about those things, the stories you told yourself, and remembering who you are. Because at one point, growing up, we all forgot who we were, and we started to decide that we were other types of people and stuff. And we started basically doing play pretend. So yeah, you got to do a lot of letting go of things in your life, and it's hard, man. It's not fun. It's not fun realizing that there's things about yourself you don't like. You know, especially when you thought it was a good thing at one point to be, you know, full of yourself or arrogant or in control or a moneymaker or a go-getter or I am a this or that or the other. You have to like start chiseling that away and uncovering the person that you are underneath all of this. And that can lead to doing things like going to spiritual seminars, retreats, workshops, online workshops, buying books, buying videos, buying crystals, buying a whole bunch of stuff. And what ends up happening, and this is a very dangerous thing, and it's something I see a lot, and I got caught up in at one point, was the spiritual loop, I call it. The spiritual seminar loop, where you go and you do a workshop or you do a one-pay thing, and you get this big, like, mind-blowing thing happen to you where you start to like realize things and you get these ideas and you start to go, yeah, that makes sense, yeah, that makes sense, yeah. And then the next thing you know, you're looking for the next workshop or the next book or the next tape or movie or documentary. You start looking for these things. You start subscribing to Gaia TV. You start doing all these things, and then you just keep doing it. You keep doing it. There are so many people out there that want to like progress up a spiritual ladder that are stuck on a rung because all they want to do is think that there's somebody else going to tell them something that's going to make the next big difference in their life, instead of asking themselves inside and contemplating and taking the time, because it doesn't happen overnight. Spiritual learning and stuff is a lifelong commitment. I will never, ever be at the pinnacle of spirituality, no matter how much I learn, no matter how much I practice, no matter how much I do it. I won't ever be there, because I don't think you can. I think spirituality is like everything else that involves being human, where it's an ebb and flow and or a cycle, and you go through periods where it's good, there's periods where it's bad, there's periods where you kind of are just there. You know, it's the same thing in all aspects of life, and spirituality is no different. And it's you can end up spending a ton of money on spiritual stuff. Yeah, I keep remembering having talks with people, and it was like, oh, and then I'm going to do this, I'm going to go do this workshop, and I'm going to go to another retreat or a week-long astral projection workshop, and I'm going to learn how to astral project out of my body and stuff. And I'm not saying that this stuff doesn't exist. I've never experienced. I have my own experiences in spirituality that were very impactful on me, but it really didn't involve any kind of psychic powers or anything. It didn't. It very much involved me having moments of feeling completely connected to the universe and everything. Where leaves falling off a tree seemed like it was made for me to see. Or a thunderstorm was designed to make me feel a certain way, and everything else kind of fades away, all the worries of life, everything else, and there's just this moment where everything feels hyper real and alive. Those are the spiritual experiences I've had, and that I continue to try to strive for. Not seeing colors or auras around people, not being able to find somebody's lost keychain, not being able to talk to beings from another plane of existence, not seeing spirits or talking to spirits, not being able to predict things, not doing psychic surgeries. It's none of this shit. All that is theater. It's a theater, and it makes a lot of money. And there's going to be a lot of people pissed off at me for saying this, probably. But I just, they're grifters. You know, there's a lot of grifters out there, and you can get caught in the loop, and you can end up blowing a lot of money on those people. All right, enough of that. Let's move on, and I'm going to let you guys know. We're going to wrap this talk up here real quick. I hope so. This is the second time I've recorded it, and it's already going on 30 minutes with the recording. So, what do I think now about spirituality or the spiritual community? I think it's good. I mean, for the most part, it's kind of like religion. I think there's some good churches and some good ministers and teachers. I think that's the same with spirituality. I think that trying to search for something in order to change yourself is a good goal. And when I mean change, I mean for the better. I don't mean there's this weird thing that happens if you go to a spiritual workshop or you do them enough, where people start asking about their job. Like, what job should I have? I'm looking for a job where I can, like, express myself and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, a job's a job. Helping people, if you want to help people, you should just start helping people. Maybe the job will come out of doing it not for money. But there seems to be this thing, it's like spirituality is used as a way to get shit. Manifesting, you hear that a lot. I don't think any of that stuff is great. I think if you want to manifest stuff in your life, you have to change yourself and things will just happen for you naturally. You know, that's why at the end of the videos I go, you know, love yourself and just push that out, and you might start seeing a change in the people around you. That's real magic. And everybody has the capability of doing that. I also think that that exploiting people that are searching or going through stuff that is causing them to search for answers is shitty. And I'm not saying every teacher out there is doing this. I know people make a living doing it, yada, yada, yada. But I think when you're doing it and you're charging people so much money that you're excluding a large majority of the population, I think that's bullshit. And I've heard people say, well, they need to be changed more because they're the ones in control of stuff. No, everybody needs it, period. Like I said, we are all the same. Nobody is better than another person. Nobody. So, spirituality good, exploiting people bad. Don't get caught in spiritual seminar loops or money loops where you're spending money. Look at different modalities. Go at it with an open mind, but also be skeptical and start to look for the patterns and things. You'll start seeing repeats of ideas through all these things. And that's when you start realizing that they all are kind of pointing at this idea. This idea of what spirit, God, source, blah, 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 whatever you want to call it is. It's in here. And you can, I'd love to hear what people have to say about this. I'm sure there's somebody out there that might have understood what I was talking about. Maybe has had a similar experience. Maybe there's people out there starting to just do this kind of work. Maybe there's people out there that are just kind of like unsatisfied with things and are looking for a path to walk that might start to hand them some answers. Let me know down below. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. I'd like to hear your stories. You know, I also want to know if you guys like this content. So if you do, let me know that down below too. I really enjoy talking about these deeper topics. I love hot sauce too and spicy stuff, but I can talk about stuff like, you know, these heady ideas and stuff all day. You know, I can really talk about them all day and have a nice, enjoyable time doing it. So. All right, I think that's going to do it for this top. I hope it made sense. I hope I gave somebody some kind of, like, ideas about my experience that they might be able to, like, look at their life or look at their experience and understand things. Or maybe this will help you, like, kind of focus on yourself and on your inner work and stuff, which is where real spirituality, real transformation, real manifestation happens, all right? So enough with that, everybody. Let's get to the hot sauce video. All right, so I'm excited to do this. Like I said, I did try the Ghost of Saffron ones and stuff, and I have tried some of their like the prickly desert or the one about the prick. I tried that one. I've tried a few of their other sauces, and I think I have another one or two to try. So I've liked their stuff. I like the Hight Desert Sauce stuff. So, and there is something written on the side, so let's go ahead and read it. It says, heat rating hot. The first time I had mole, I wasn't prepared for the life trajectory it would point me towards. I have been on the search for amazing versions ever since. There are a ton of lazy, bland attempts out there. This is not one of those. This hot sauce pays tribute to all of the classic mole flavors with our fun original twist. The blend of toasted pasilla, mulatto, ancho, chocolate habanero, and chocolate butla chilies creates the savory, complex element that the style is known for and delivers a respectable amount of heat that we know you will appreciate. The spice blend continues to add depth, and the addition of cold brew coffee takes this hot sauce to another level. In my book, it sets itself apart from anything I've ever had. Zach is a genius. Please enjoy this extremely limited hot sauce. Cherish every drop, as I know you will. Brian Ambs. Ambs. Let me know. And they have a website. I'll put that down below in the bottom. So if you haven't got this and it runs out, it looks like it's gonna not be back. I don't know. I feel like they'll bring it back if it sells really well. So let's go ahead and look at what the ingredients are. There's quite a list. So let's get into it. We've got distilled vinegar, fire roasted tomatoes, crushed tomatillo, cold brewed coffee, cider vinegar, dates, toasted chilies, agave nectar, toasted pumpkin seeds, toasted cacao powder, sesame seeds, kosher salt, toasted pine nuts, garlic, tortilla chips, peppercorns, coriander, garlic granules, cinnamon, and clove. Contains soy, sesame, and pine nut. So there's like a lot going on here, but it seems pretty like actually classic for like that type of thing. I know there's nuts and stuff in regular mole, I believe, and stuff. I'm not sure about the coffee, though. That's kind of a new thing. Yeah, so there's like a lot going on here. I'm pretty stoked about it. Is it just cocoa powder they use in regular mole, or do they use that Mexican chocolate chunk thing, bars that they use along with that that like cone of sugar? Like it's just like brown sugar, kind of. It's like a natural sugar. I'm not going to be too picky about what the ingredients are. I'm more here for the taste and the heat and the flavor. Let's get into it. All right. It's pretty dark. You can't really... I don't even think I see a bubble in here at all. It just looks like mole sauce, so it's pretty dark. I see pepper seeds. I see chunks of stuff in there. You can kind of see it. It's just really dark. Sorry again about the lighting, everybody. Maybe one day I'll be able to afford a better light. I would open up my curtains in front of me, but I feel like what happens is the light starts reflecting off of everything, and I was gonna make sure I hit that button to make sure that I don't snooze on recording video. Making me use the knife to open you. Alright, so we can see at the top it's really thick. It looks really thick. So let's open it. Woo! It's like dark. It's like dark. Let's pour this bad boy. Ooh, my mouth is starting to water thinking about this. Ooh, look at that. See, it's pretty thick. It's pretty thick. This has chocolate butla in it, so I think it might be pretty hot. Let's look how thick it is though. Look at it pours like ketchup. So it's like a thick sauce. And mole usually is thick anyway, so it doesn't look like super chocolatey almost. It's a little like kind of like a tint of red to it, but yeah, let's get into this bad boy. Oh, I can smell the clove and the cinnamon right away. It smells really safe. It smells really savory. Oh man, I'm dripping this everywhere now. What the hell? What the heck? What the heck, guys? Alright, before I spill this everywhere. Yeah, it smells good. It smells really deep and rich, and I smell like a bunch of spices. I can definitely smell the cinnamon and the clove, and then I smell like, you know, other things, you know. I don't know if it's the toasted seasonings they put in there that I'm smelling, but it smells very like rich and deep. Almost reminds me of like a chili con carne kind of aroma going on. So I'm pretty excited about this, everybody. Hopefully this won't kill me. I didn't die during my neuromancer attempt, so hopefully this won't kill me. So this is Hight Desert Sauce Cafe Mole, limited edition in collaboration with Brian Ambs. Let me know. Cheers. Alright. It's pretty fucking good. I felt like I was eating like chili almost. There's a nice thickness and pulpiness and everything to it. It makes it very meaty feeling. And it's hot. It's ramping up, but it's got some of that like coal sting and some of that coal burn, and then some of that stinginess. You know, it's a flavor ride for sure. And am I getting the coffee in there? Maybe like a little in the after part. Maybe a little coffee flavor in my mouth left over. The spices and everything are pretty good. And I'm going to say I'm at about a 2. Maybe a 2. Maybe 1.5, 2, maybe. So it's manageable. If you like Tabasco habanero, this will be pretty manageable. The flavor is really crazy. Like, I wasn't really expecting it to be like. I feel like it's a meal in itself almost. I'm gonna try that again. Try a little bit more and just try to get the flavor of it. Really. Oh, it's super tasty. I wonder if that's the pumpkin seeds. That's the pumpkin seeds and the other nuts that's making it meaty like that. And the heat level's really kind of just maintaining. After it gets hot, it hasn't dissipated yet. It's got some stamina, if you know what I mean. Super awesome flavor. I'm trying to think of like what I really want to eat this on, and I think if I wanted to put it on something, I think I might just go with some tacos on this or a burrito. But definitely, I think mac and cheese. This would like blow me away on some mac and cheese. I feel like it'd be great on a salad. Or in a salad dressing, or if you want to make a aioli with it to put on a sandwich, that would be super bomb. Yeah, all things Mexican, I feel like this could go on. And you don't even have to really use a lot of this. Like if you have something with a green sauce on it, some drops of this in the green sauce here and there would just add this little flavor bomb that you would get every once in a while, along with the verdiness of the green sauce. I think that would work really well together. But this is just so meaty. You know what I want to do with it? I kind of want to toss noodles. Like some ramen noodles with it. Or like even spaghetti. Kind of like Skyline chili, if you've ever had Skyline chili. It kind of reminds me of that a little bit. In a weird way. It'd be great on a hot dog. Hamburger. I could see this on some chicken wings too. It'd probably like make it another level. You could probably add this and use it to make a barbecue sauce with. Make it even a crazy awesome barbecue sauce with it. I don't think I would waste this in a marinade though. I think it's something I want to put on stuff. And it's because of the texture as well. So it's like, it's not just like a flavor accompaniment to something. It's like it adds a different texture to stuff. So that's what's kind of crazy to me is the texture of it. Like I felt like I was eating like just meat chili almost. Like a really finely ground meat and chili. It's crazy. I mean, I recommend if you can get your hands on some of this, you should try it. I want to say that. Luckily, I bought 2 bottles, so I can use this one and I don't have to worry about running out till I open the second one. But yeah, good job, guys, over there at Hight Desert Sauce, and thanks, Brian. Matter of fact, Brian, I sent you some Alvin's. I hope you tried it at some point because that sauce is one of my favorites, and I know you like Scotch bonnets, and I definitely think you should try that. So yeah, good job. Woo! Hight Desert. I'll put a link to their website down below, just so you know. I always put a link to the sauce company's website if I can find one. You know, because some of these sauces I get are like made like super like small batch independent people at restaurants or, you know, at the farmer's market, and they don't really have websites, especially since I'm in the Caribbean and stuff. It's hard to find people that have like really websites outside of like social media. So anyway, if you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching, man. I appreciate you, just so you know, a whole bunch. And if you're liking the new content with the talks and stuff, please let me know down below if you're checking those out and stuff. I enjoy doing that too, as well as doing the hot sauce reviews. So just let me know what you think. Let me know if there's any topics you guys want me to talk about, because I would totally do that. You know, if you want to know something about me, ask me a question. If I should do like a Q&A thing at some point, let me know about that too. I mean, just start shooting recommendations at me, I'll contemplate things and see what I can do and stuff. All right. So this is the part of the video where I tell you to keep loving yourself and just kind of pushing that out there to the people in your immediate vicinity, those you love and care about, just to kind of grow that feeling of your own self-love and self-worth around you. And I think you might start to see a change, not only in yourself, but in those around you. And we kind of need that stuff right now, I feel like. Might help a little bit. Don't you think? So until next time, everybody, keep trying hot sauce and spicy stuff. And just remember, I love you all. All right? Until next time. Peace! This is the Honest Sauce intro song. I won't take too long because it's spicy, yeah. Oh, so spicy, yeah. It didn't record. Don't be mad. See? Spirituality's working.